Well, the U.S. energy boom has wiped out predictions made not so long ago that America's demand for energy would make us vulnerable to unstable governments halfway across the globe that, put simply, just don't like us very much. Last year, domestic energy production fulfilled nearly 85% of U.S. demand, changing the geopolitics that have long been tied to our energy security. But you don't have to look around the globe to see the impact the growth in domestic energy production has. Just open up your electricity bill. Thanks to compressed natural gas, or CNG, electricity rates have fallen in states that use the cleaner burning fuel to power our homes and businesses. Now, earlier, I visited with Jason Brown, an economist with the Federal Reserve Bank in Kansas City, about the cost of electricity in the wake of growing natural gas production. So, Jason, if you will you set the stage for us about where we get our electricity and how we generate it?
Yeah, sure. So most of our electricity is generated from three traditional sources. Coal by far is the largest source, followed by natural gas and nuclear fuel.
And we've seen a real push to get away from coal, at least here in this part of the country, and move towards natural gas. What could that mean for prices?
Yeah, so there's a couple things that's happened with the large increase in the domestic supply of natural gas. It's created an abundance of natural gas, and so that's kind of put downward pressure on the price of natural gas because, quite honestly, we don't export very much out of the country. And within the United States, within the domestic market, utilities is the largest end user of natural gas. And so with the recession, another thing that happened was it was also putting downward pressure on crude oil and natural gas prices in general. And you have this large supply come online at about the same time. So what utility companies or power generators decided to do or think about in the face of aging coal-fired plants and in the face of potentially more stringent environmental regulations that would cause the total cost of production from a coal-fired plant increasing, we've started to see a shift towards more natural gas. So in the near term, what we've seen is due to lower natural gas prices, those states in which more of the electricity has been generated from natural gas, they've actually seen their electricity prices fall.
Now, I'm assuming this shift towards natural gas isn't something that can happen quickly just because of both costs and just the technology of building a new plant.
That's right. That's exactly right. So obviously there's capital expenditure in switching. And so most often what we're probably more likely to see is that coal-fired plants would be converted to natural gas-fired plants instead of, building like a brand new facility.
So if the natural gas industry is successful in getting people to switch over to natural gas electricity production, as well as using more natural gas in their vehicles, could the laws of supply and demand, could they come into effect here about prices?
Absolutely. And so I think that's one of the concerns that we hear just from some of our business contacts is that some utility companies are a little bit concerned about how quickly or their likelihood of switching a lot of their generation to natural gas. The reason is because historically natural gas prices have been much more volatile compared to coal, and although they've been less volatile compared to petroleum products used for electricity generation. And so right now we're in a low price environment, and general forecasts are that the prices will remain low. Although the Energy Information Agency out of the Department of Energy is forecasting a 30% rise in natural gas prices over the next 5 years or so. So because of that potential price increase, I think some are looking towards converting, but they're recognizing that they still need that diversified portfolio.
Yeah.
You mentioned on the demand side, so as I mentioned, utilities are already the largest end user. The second largest end user in the United States are actually for industrial use. So think of chemical manufacturing, is a good example. And so that there might be more demand that will come from the domestic market in that way too, as domestic manufacturing finds a comparative advantage and relatively cheaper natural gas.
All right. Thank you so much. Jason Brown with the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City.
Great. Thanks so much.